It was just really sad to hear that I couldn't get it to myself. So I'm gonna try my best to start another company and make it just as good as it was. It's just gonna take some time.
Danielle Cohn's current drama is more than just a train wreck, you guys. It's a full-blown disaster. Imagine pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into a brand, only to have influencers casually snap a few pics holding the product and then pretend they're the brains behind the operation and lie to the world into thinking they own the brand 100%. It's a slap in the face to hardworking individuals everywhere, and for the life of me, I don't get why these companies just don't learn. Like, come on guys, let's not kid ourselves. Danielle Cohn has been very problematic as an influencer from the get-go. The journey to Controversy Town began in 2015 when her dance and lip sync videos started going viral on Musical.ly. Fast forward to today, and her name is like a dark cloud looming over the influencer scene. If you really think about it, when have you ever heard the name Danielle associated with anything impactful?
I own my businesses, that's what I do. Like, I don't talk shit. Why are you talking about me? Like, why? But it's fine.
Now, I know what you're thinking, she's just a kid, and you're absolutely right. The real poison in this toxic cocktail is none other than Danielle's own mother, Jen. Jen is not your run-of-the-mill stage mom. No. She's the saltiest, most disgusting, self-centered, manipulative creature you could ever encounter. If she had 7 lives, she'd still be the reigning champion of toxicity. It's mind-boggling that a company armed with the knowledge of this toxic family drama and all the red flags still willingly jumped headfirst into this chaotic circle. I need y'all to buckle up because this journey is about to get wild.
Remember when Danielle Cohn used her earwax as chapstick?
In case this celeb drama slipped through your social media feed, Danielle Cohn comes from the Sunshine State of Orlando, Florida. Her first brush with fame was with the now extinct Musical.ly, and she later seamlessly transitioned her fame to the TikTok stage. Riding on the wave of her growing fan base, Danielle started bagging partnership deals left and right. Her brand seemed to have taken off, or so we thought. It turns out that Danielle was merely a puppet. Her mother was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. Along with more money, Jen felt the need to put a stronger leash on Danielle. However, the worst part was that Jen would go to any lengths to ensure her daughter kept bringing in the money. And so controversies started sticking to her like glitter. The first bombshell dropped when it was revealed that both Danielle and her mom had been lying to the public about her age. Imagine the shock when relatives and former friends spilled the tea, exposing Danielle's age.
Let me just put this out. I've known Danielle Cohn since I was, what, like 11? I met her when she was 9 years old. She's lying about her age, 100%.
Oh my God.
That's about it. I met her.
You didn't have to air her out like that.
We were in New York, and she turns and she looks at, we were on live, and she looks at her mom and to see what age and like class she's supposed to be in. And she was like, I'm in 7th. No, I'm in 6th. I'm in 6th. I was like, oh, boom, done. And I met her at a certain age, and then she just jumped 2 ages. And I was like, oh, this is nuts.
But wait, there's more. This fake age drama got to a record high when Danielle's dad joined the fray, armed with a birth certificate as evidence to prove that Danielle was, in fact, still younger than the story her mom was peddling. Oh, by the way, Jen used to lie that Danielle was older because she was making her take some very provocative pics and post them online for people to feast on. Danielle's mom literally is on record saying that her one bikini picture makes them $10,000. Guys, you have to remember that these revealing pics only fetch so much money because online perverts prey on them. We're talking about a teenager here. Anyways, when Jen's father came out, Jen herself was found in the spotlight, and not in a glamorous way. She had lied about him abandoning them to the point that they even became homeless. He shattered all that and came ready with evidence accusing Jen of being the mastermind behind Danielle's early entry into the social media circus, all for quick money. Danielle's dad said that he once raised concerns about Danielle's photos circulating on Pinterest and falling into the wrong hands, but Jen didn't care as Jen shamelessly continued to exploit her daughter.
She is 14, just turned 14 on March 7th. She was born on 2006. Here's the proof. Multiple people have shown this birth certificate.
And to make it even worse, one of Jen's friends leaked an audio that had everyone's jaw dropping. It was an outburst where Jen berated Danielle, revealing the harsh reality of what was happening behind closed doors. In that audio, Jen doesn't just cross the line, she literally leaped over it, particularly the part where she shames Danielle for getting rid of a pregnancy.
Do this at this age, I'm letting you do that. I allowed you to have an abortion. And this is all the shit that they're saying on there. I allowed so much that I shouldn't have allowed. And it's allowed you to be the person you become and just think it's okay to act the way you can towards me. We don't have a relationship.
On top of all that, Danielle was still being coerced into working for the sake of putting food on the table and money into her mother's pockets. It was a revelation that left the world utterly disgusted and questioning how a mother could treat her own flesh and blood so heartlessly. The drama goes deeper, darker, and more twisted, guys. Jen's influence leaves no room for Danielle's innocence, and we'll be back to her personal life further into the story. For now, I need you guys to just get a little backstory of how problematic Danielle Cohn and her mother have been, so you can join me in wondering why any serious company would seriously go into business with them. Okay, now that y'all are up to speed, let's start where all the drama began, which was when Danielle's former business partners spilled the tea on their breakup. They went all out in a lengthy post, venting their frustrations, and whew, they had a lot to say. They didn't hold back, revealing that Danielle was as lazy as a cat on a Sunday afternoon and that she didn't put in any effort. And of course, by now you already know that Danielle's mom was neck deep in the thick of it. First things first, if this company did their homework, they should have known that they were getting into business with an underage sensation whose mom had turned her into a cash cow. So it was completely normal for Danielle not to take her work too seriously. This was such a wrong partnership because now look, Danielle was all over social media crying like a baby that she was when the business went south, which was literally what a kid would do.
To make it clear, I didn't lose my company because of karma. I lost the company because I didn't like the way it was going. I just didn't like some of the things. I wanted it to be faster. I wanted the shipping to be faster. We just decided to end it because we were arguing too much about what we wanted, and that's why you just don't have partners. You just do it all yourself.
Let's take it back to where it all started, which was in 2022 when Danielle proudly announced the birth of Feel Divine, her feminine skincare line. She said that the main goal for this brand would be to help teens with grooming and hygiene care, which made sense because literally her entire fan base was within that age bracket. And of course, Jen wasted no time flaunting it on social media. Words can't even explain how proud I am of my daughter Danielle and her team Feel Divine. It's been a year and a half today. They've been through so much over the year, even with adults online that have tried to bring them down and still fought through it. It's because their products are amazing and they worked together as a small team to provide amazing products. So proud of you, Danny, for all you accomplished. Why is this congratulatory message so salty though? Anyways, from the outside looking in, Feel Divine seemed to be killing it with a massive judging from how Gabrielle and Jen were putting it. Money was rolling in. And so it came as a surprise when the bomb dropped when they announced shutting down. You guys, that's when the real deal came to light. Turns out Feel Divine wasn't standing alone. It had partnered with another company called So Refresh, who were Danielle's manufacturers and distributors as per the contract. So actually, it was So Refreshed that decided to close shop, not Danielle or her brand Feel Divine. What were they going to sell if manufacturers and distributors had given up? So Refreshed didn't hold back, claiming that Danielle and her mom were as helpful as wearing sunglasses at night. Totally useless. The plot thickens when So Refreshed dropped the closure bomb on Instagram. Sorry, we will close soon. Tomorrow is our last day. They then proceeded to say tomorrow is our official last day. All orders are still being sent out. With a limited amount of staff, there is a delay, and we do apologize. So much work went into this brand behind the scenes. We appreciate all the love and support we received. They then assured customers that everyone will get their orders before machines stop grinding. The comment section went wild, and they had a ton of questions. It was during this Q&A that the cracks started to show. For instance, someone asked, are you going to be continuing the products just under a different name? To which Feel Divine said, these products were handmade and manufactured by So Refresh. That response confused the fans even further because all along Danielle had been telling her fans and even recording videos of her hand making the products. Wait, I'm so confused. So this whole time she was flexing that she's a businesswoman and an entrepreneur when she was just the face of the business, she wasn't actually running anything? I just feel like Jen overshadows Danny sometimes. I'm honestly surprised Feel Divine lasted a year. Embarrassing. I knew it was Jen's fault. She's ruined every opportunity her daughter has gotten because she's jealous and narcissistic and greedy AF. She's also evil and can't let her daughter succeed in anything. It was all out there, guys. All those videos of Danielle working were just a show. She was absolutely doing nothing other than taking cool pics with the final products after the production team did all the work. Now, call me crazy, but it seems like So Refresh Refreshed planned on dropping just one statement, but the fans weren't having it, and they literally felt their concerns weren't being addressed sufficiently. Like this comment right here. If this is the only statement you're going to make to your customers, then I don't blame Danielle for dropping you guys, because she doesn't like the way things were run. I personally haven't bought anything from you guys, but I think your loyal customers do deserve some sort of explanation instead of a very last minute notice that you guys are shutting down. Saying sorry like it's no big deal is not very professional. By this point, it looks like So Refreshed still wasn't willing to dive into the fine details of their sour breakup, because they responded saying, sorry you feel that way. It would be even more unprofessional to share all the intricate details since they weren't positive. As you can see, Danielle and her mom had already spun things around to look like victims with sob stories to gain public sympathy.
And I don't want to argue, and I don't want to argue about who gets the company, so I just let them have it. It's just hard to sit here and say that I don't have Feel Divine anymore, because I put so much work into it, and I just can't. It's just like, I just can't with the crying alive.
Ugh. This one lies through her teeth just like her mother. Anyways, it was at this point that the team at So Refreshed said, you know what? Let's spill the tea. Pen and paper at hand, they documented every single thing that wasn't right during their partnership with Danielle Cohn and her mother. They posted this: do things at your own pace. Life's not a race. However, guys, the bombshell was in the caption. Feel Divine has officially been acquired by So Refreshed, and we currently run this page. On October 16th, 2023, we decided to part ways with Danielle and her mother. Here are some facts that we feel are important for you to know with so many speculations going around. 1. No money was put up to start this brand by Danielle or her mother. We were told they didn't have any funds at the time that we started the brand from scratch, and we would need to wait and collect money from sales. The startup included building the website, buying inventory, creating the name and logo, obtaining insurance, creating a social media presence, and so much more. Also, no money was ever given to us to help with building the brand or operating expenses from them after the brand was formed. They only paid for photo shoots for the brand. 2. We strictly had a contract in place to handle manufacturing and distribution. Later, Jen started demanding that social media management be handled by us, which was outside of the contract. PR, damage control, ceased and desist of the letters being sent, and accounting services were also provided outside of the contract. 3. We became burnt out from handling all these things, and orders became backed up. Our team was very small and could not handle such daunting tasks as well as run the business. Alongside the fact that they only wanted certain people to work with us. We expressed this several times, and they didn't care enough to change the structure of the business. One person should not be held responsible for all these duties. We truly don't think they understand what a burnout is. They would say they could come help, but they do not have the knowledge on how creating feminine care and skincare. It is not something you wake up and decide to do. It involves a lot of processes that you would need to understand beforehand. The 4th point for shutting down was that sales were really low, and it became extremely difficult to run the business. Remember, guys, with all these frustrations, Danielle was just sitting pretty, waiting for the team to get the job done. Apparently, Feel Divine was also the brand behind the healing page that Danielle very much claimed to be her second venture, and this one also died before it took off. We also started the healing page, created the logos, and built the website for it as well. The Stupid Love website was created by us also. None of these services had to do with manufacturing and distribution of Feel Divine. However, we were asked to do them, and we wanted Danielle to win in every possible scenario. We received so much hate from so many people in regards to Danielle being allegedly exploited. This was another stressful factor that weighed heavily on our decision. Number 7, they talked about giving Danielle and Jen an option to buy wholesale on many occasions, but they always declined. We tried to make this work, but things got complicated because of what Jen and we mutually called it quits together. Lastly, Jen was the key factor in this relationship ending. The manipulation, entitlement, and cockiness, along with the demanding us to do things each and every day outside of the contract and without a profit, was extremely stressful. We did so many things out of the kindness of our hearts that was abused and not appreciated by them. In their eyes, we were supposed to do all those things. We have closed this chapter and moved on. However, we continue to see lies being spread, and it's just wrong. We want to apologize in advance if this offends any of you. We have remained professional and poised while videos and comments continuously are being made because we couldn't handle these issues and decided to part ways. We are not robots. We are humans that cared a little too much. Lesson learned. Their IG account has since remained private and silence, so it looks like Feel Divine is gone for good. This detailed expose really put a stopper to Danielle and her mom's lies now that people started seeing things in black and white. However, some were still blaming the company over the poor decision to work with Danielle. Here's the craziest part in all these, guys. Looks like everyone and their dog knew that Danielle and Jen were walking red flags. So as much as they were sorry for So Refreshed, they still couldn't help but wonder why they went into business with this toxic duo. No offense, but why would they start a business with an influencer who hasn't been famous since Musical.ly and expect to prosper? The whole point of being an influencer is that you have an audience to influence and sell to. So they should have chosen a recent influencer, not one that had lost the influence they used to have. Jen gives off Karen energy, so none of the statement is surprising. Are you really surprised? They have a history of doing these things, so I better not see no one hating on So Refreshed. This is the same parent that has been selling CP of her child since the age of 15 to grown men, so funny enough, some people still felt So Refreshed was on the wrong for exposing the truth, even though the very same people were the ones dissatisfied when the company wasn't willing to go into detail about their breakup with Danielle. So unprofessional. Doesn't matter how badly something went, if you have to go online to speak, you're craving attention. So Refreshed replied by saying, "Sorry you feel that way. We've been lied about and remained silent long enough. The truth needed to be told. But you deleted the website without telling her? Girl, this is such a wrong way to address this issue. Isn't it unprofessional to talk down on people? One thing about the internet, you are damned if you do and damned if you don't. In many people's views, So Refreshed had every right to speak up because they were getting a lot of backlash about working with Danielle and her mom, and the fact that their name was now clouded with lies and clout. This brings us to the next part of this wild story, which is about why literally everyone does not want to be associated with Danielle and her mom. Guys, Danielle has been super problematic since day one. Besides the age and get rid of pregnancy scandals, Danielle has in the past been hitting the headlines for all the wrong reasons. For instance, she has been known for getting with guys who are older than her, like Mikey Tua and Sebastian Topetti, and these relationships are always trending at #1 because of how problematic they are and how they end so nastily. Her mother has also been working overtime pimping her out. I mean, don't they get tired of all these? Remember when her mom said Danielle makes $10,000 for posting a single bikini pic? Would you believe she created an OnlyFans for her underage baby? Jen has continuously made her daughter launch explicit content and sell them on platforms like Brand Army, which is literally like an OnlyFans for kids. Weirdly enough, Danielle couldn't stay out of trouble even on such a brow-raising platform. There is this one time she literally told on herself when she announced on her IG that she had switched accounts and signaled her followers to follow her on her new handle. Danielle received so much backlash from loyal fans who felt duped because they had already purchased her content in her old account. Danielle had already been in the spotlight for not being a good influence to her followers, who are literally children, being racist, and never taking accountability for her actions. Like the time when, instead of apologizing for using the N-word, she said she used the word because she was stressed out. This isn't even a fraction of Danielle's dose of online scandals, you guys, and that brings us to the comment section, which basically warns brands to steer clear of these problematic influencers because they can never be trusted, even with contracts in place. Remember, people already have a very bad attitude with this whole influencer marketing thing, so it would be a double suicide to partner with a scandalous one like Danielle Cohn. Let this be a lesson and warning to all companies not to do business with Jen and Danielle. Dani is very much still a minor and underaged, and her mother is the one who allows it and tries to profit off of her. This confirms it. They have no idea how harmful Dani's image has been as a influencer, the example she's setting, and how her mother has orchestrated it all. Stop supporting these people and giving them a platform. This is a serious matter and law enforcement needs to get involved. Do you also blame So Refreshed for partnering with her? Also, don't forget to click on the tab above for more videos on these celebrities and influencers.